Hey, you need some R&R. You need some R&R. You need some R&R. You need some R&R.
Radio, RaNdOmNeSs, RaNdOmNeSs.
All right, it says we're recording.
I see it.
How about them Rays last night? Pulling it off in Game 7. They're going to the World Series, baby.
Hey.
So stoked.
Okay.
Like, I want them to win so bad to, like, just a... Even if the... I mean, what would be even cooler is if the Bucks made the Super Bowl, but if that doesn't happen, just to have a Stanley Cup and a World Series right behind it from the same city, that's just...
Well, the Super Bowl is supposed to be in Tampa.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if the Bucks make it to the Super Bowl. Like, to have that trifecta. But that's...
Yes.
It's a long
If only
shot.
does Tampa have, like, a soccer team or something?
I think so, but I don't know anything about them.
I'm trying to think, like, what other sports there are.
I don't know, like, what league they're in. Because soccer, there's, like... The only thing I know is the soccer team I follow is in the Premier League. But I know there's other leagues, but I'm not sure. So,
They definitely don't have a basketball team. I'm trying to think of sports right now. I can't. Those are like the main ones: baseball, hockey, soccer, basketball.
you want to be a rock star too? Or you want to wear these? There you go.
Brand new Lamborghini.
I
I said brand new Lamborghini.
don't get it.
It's a song called Rockstar by DaBaby.
Oh,
like-
duh, baby.
Yeah. It's like brand new Lamborghini, bleep a cop car. Pistol on my head, it's like a Glock. Have you ever met a real rock star?
Yes.
This ain't my guitar. This is a Glock. What's up, Melody?
Can you see yourself?
Mm.
All right, so you can play those. Daddy's talking. So, all right, I'll explain the sunglasses or the glasses, whatever you want to call these things. I am, and it's not as cool as Raven wearing sunglasses. It's not like a night partying or anything. I wish it was. That would be a lot more.
Entertaining.
Yeah. No, so the glasses is there's been a lot of changes in the last 7 days. So Tuesday, because I had told you previously, I think that I put a notice at Domino's, but I took that back. I'm gonna hold on to Domino's a bit longer.
Okay.
Because so Tuesday at my day job was just horrendous, and it was so bad that like we were basically being told not to take our scheduled lunches or breaks because we're too busy. And I'm like, Melody, okay. I was like, you can't tell people their scheduled, their break. They're like, that's kind of illegal, isn't it?
Against the law.
Yeah, like you give us a 15-minute, and then there's me that is one of the few people that were working 10-hour shifts. So most of the time I had to go like 3.5 hours in between breaks anyway, because I still only got 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. It's like now you're legit trying to tell me not to go on my scheduled break because I was like, no, screw you. I'm going on my break.
Yeah.
And but there were some people that like literally went their whole 8-hour shift without going on break or taking a shorter lunch. I'm like, this job ain't worth that.
And this is you're still working from home, right?
Yeah. So yeah, and that will explain the story will explain the switching of the rooms too. So anyway, that was Tuesday, and I noticed it just been getting increasingly like stressful. And Tuesday, I noticed that I had like a bump on my eye.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like a pimple, but I knew it wasn't a pimple. It was like really kind of hard and solid, but it was red.
Mm-hmm.
And it was determined that it was like from stress. It was a stress bump. And I've gotten them before. They're usually like around here on my neck.
Yeah.
And then I can, I'll just grow out my beard or whatever and cover it up while it heals, because they take longer than a pimple to heal. And I noticed that on my eye. I'm like, Jesus, like it. That just, to me, it just really symbolized the amount of stress that I've been under.
Yeah.
I'm getting one of those things on my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put like medicine and different stuff on it, trying to like keep it from getting too bad, and relieve the pressure. You could probably see that kind of scab or whatever when you saw it before. Relieve like the pressure was building up, pressure and fluid and stuff in there. But it just like caused my eye, because there's not a whole lot of area on your eyelid, and that's so now it's like swollen up, and it's all red. Looks like I got my wife thinks she's like, it looks like you got in a fight. It's like I wish that was the reason for this. That would be a better story too. But no, it's just stress. And then so that started on Tuesday. By Thursday morning when I woke up, it was like when I woke up, I could tell something felt weird with my eye, and it was like that's when it had started swelling.
Yeah.
It's worse in the morning, and then throughout the day it gets better. I think something about while I'm sleeping with the eye closed, it like, I guess it like, I don't know, builds up or whatever. But so Thursday it was pretty bad, and I was like, I'm just gonna take a half day or whatever. And I start my day, and long story short, Thursday, my time with that company has come to an end.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so I was like, which I kind of knew it was coming. I thought I had more time, but it just is what it is. And I'm like, it was just over. And honestly, I was so much more relieved than I was. There was a little bit, obviously, of holy crap, what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But like 90% of my reaction was like, oh, thank God, like just out of misery, like put me out of my misery. Like I was miserable.
Yeah. You were in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top.
That's when I didn't tell my wife until she came home. I kind of hinted that, some things were going on, but I didn't tell her that, hey, I don't have a job, because I don't want her to stress about that while she was at work with me, without me getting a chance to like. I already told you about like I've been looking into the freelance thing, so starting Monday, I'm gonna start, picking up some stuff. Hopefully, I can pick up enough to get like full-time type paychecks, I guess. At least what I was making before. But I'm going to get that kind of focus going on Monday. And in the meantime, that's what's like, well, I got to hold on to Domino's, because that's even 2 nights a week 2 nights a week is what I've been working there. So with my paychecks and my tips, that's an extra like $1,000 a month almost.
Wow.
That I can pretty much at least depend on that because I'll make some money from the freelance stuff. It just how much and how steady it will be. That's the part that we don't know yet. So in the meantime, I'm gonna hold on to Domino's.
Okay.
And because of the I don't need to be on the phone all the time, which that I won't miss. I'll be damned if I ever go back to another call center type job. So I just can't do that shit anymore. I've done it too long. And but I don't have to since that was with the VA and it was you had to plug into a secure network, I couldn't just use Wi-Fi. I had to work from home. I had to literally plug into my router, like hardwire. So I had the cord that went from my office to the living room to plug in. But now I don't need that anymore. So we
switched your office.
Yeah, so we switched the office because we had talked about that ultimately one day doing that anyway for Melody so she could have the room with a separate bathroom. So just with her being a girl, even now, like when she takes her baths and stuff like that, we always have to kind of like pre-clean the bathroom because Drew's just a dirty teenage boy. So we just determined now that I don't need that cord and I'm not going to be on the phone, so at least not as much anyway. So I don't have to worry about him when he's yelling at his game or something. Then we could go ahead and switch offices.
Yeah.
So we did that. So it's literally the same arrangement in this room. This room is slightly smaller than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks the same but different.
Well, that's a simple explanation for all those things.
Been a lot going on, and we didn't get to talk about even what was going on last week, because we had the guests, so we didn't really get our kind of normal friend conversation.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what was kind of gonna go down.
Falling into place.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of nerve-wracking too.
Oh, trust, I understand.
Like, hopefully it works out. I would love the idea of kind of being a freelancer. It gives me a little bit more. I know the amount of work is not going to be easier. In fact, it's probably going to be harder, at least starting off. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to have to pick up any projects I can.
Have you ever considered going back into real estate?
No, I've never considered it.
You don't want to?
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just didn't have when I met a guy while I was working there that he just was so kind of passionate about it, and really that passion made him just a natural at it. And then even someone like Tori, who we should have on at some point, like that. When I meet people like that, it takes their kind of passion and stuff. I enjoy it, but I don't have they take it to a whole nother level, and that's what makes them so good at it. And I don't have that. I don't have the patience that it takes when people start getting nervous about,
yeah,
situation or
that makes sense.
So no, never considered it. This has been kind of my fallback, even when things started getting iffy about the job anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was already looking into this and what it would take, and that was just my plan. It's if I lose my job, I'm gonna give freelance a try. And not because I think it'll be easier, but just because of the flexibility. Now that I've worked from home, I know I'm independent more than I thought I was before. So it's I have enough motivation that I don't need somebody breathing down my back to tell me what to do. It's just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I just trust that I'll get it done.
Yeah.
But freelance will give me the flexibility to, if I need to do something with the kids or whatever, that I can kind of stop what I'm doing for a couple hours and do that and then come back to work if I have to, where other jobs don't have that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're getting some freedom and you'll be less stressed because we were talking about that earlier this week.
Yeah, hopefully that will make my eye situation better.
Yeah. So, did you see that Kanye won in Kentucky?
I did not see that, but you told me that.
That gives me faith, honestly.
Is that why you're wearing I Feel Like Pablo shirt?
I actually haven't worn this shirt in so long. But yeah, kind of. I mean, no, but yes. I mean, my wardrobe is half my wardrobe is half Kanye, so
yeah. I mean, I'm glad that. Oh yeah, speaking of wardrobe, I'm wearing a this R&R merch.
Merch.
No, I mean I'm. Yes, that's beautiful. I'm glad that it's not coming off that he's kind of just not making waves, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the waves kind of concern me.
Well, I think it actually makes me happy because everyone is like, a vote for Kanye is a vote for Trump. And I'm like, oh, really? Because Kanye's beating Trump. So tell me that logic again.
But is he beating Trump?
And I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm trying to figure out when early voting is in Florida because it already started in other states. So it must be next week. I need to look that up because I want to vote early because I feel like I'm not going to be able to vote on voting day. Here's a real question, though. I thought that election day was November 4th, so I'm not understanding why the date of vote is November 3rd.
What?
Because, like, if you look, like, all the commercials, all the ads, everything says that you're supposed to vote on November 3rd, not November 4th.
Yeah, November 3rd, Tuesday.
I know, but I thought that it was November 4th.
It's always the first. It's the first Tuesday of November.
Oh, okay. I thought
it was probably November 4th in 2016. Maybe that's why you're thinking that. It's just how the dates.
Yeah, because that was the first election that I voted in.
So it's the first Tuesday of November on that whatever election year.
Well, that makes sense. I'm glad I didn't do a mail-in vote, though.
I requested the ballot, but I'm going to drop it off. My plan is to, if it comes in time, because I know I requested it late. So if it comes in time, then I'm going to drop it off on election day. If not, I will just stand in line all day. Because I know, I mean, I will have the ability to do that. I don't want to. Yeah. But I will.
Well, I know when I voted the last time, which I'm pretty sure was on election day. It was either election day or I did early voting. I don't remember. But there wasn't really a line at all. But also, I was voting in New Tampa. Now I'm, like, in Tampa, like, Ybor City. So I don't know how the line's going to be. There's going to be, like, people all around touching me. I really want to get a face shield.
I don't know. Here's my thought on, like, Kanye getting votes and that whole, if you vote for Kanye, it's a vote for Trump or whatever. I was thinking that way before, but now I'm like, I don't want to say, but that I don't care, but in a certain way, I don't, because I was telling my sister about this the other day too, because they've already voted in Texas. Mm-hmm. And what's really crazy and will be interesting to see, I don't know how likely it is, but Texas has always been a Republican state. Mm-hmm. So Austin usually will vote liberal or Democratic, but as a whole, the state always goes to the Republicans for electoral college. But they're saying that there's possibilities this year that it will fall for the Democrats for electoral college, which hasn't happened in, I think, decades.
Wow.
but so that will be interesting. But we're talking. They already voted. My sister did, and we're talking about it. And I was saying that when I requested my mail-in ballot or trying to figure out, you know, if I'm going to vote, I asked my wife because she has to work on that Tuesday. And, you know, I asked her, it's like, are you going to try to take a day off? Are you going to try to vote after work? Or what do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know if she doesn't know if she wants to vote because she's torn and she feels guilty about it because she usually always votes. She's hardcore Catholic. We've had this discussion. So she usually always votes Republican for that reason because of she's pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't like Trump. I think she voted for him. She's back and forth. So now I don't know what to believe. I'm pretty sure she voted for him in 2016. Now she doesn't admit to it because what he kind of turned out to be, she can't stand the guy. She can't. So she doesn't want to vote for him again, but she doesn't want to vote Democratic. So, you know, I just had a discussion. I'm like, well, personally, and I told her, it's like, I voted for Trump in 2016 too, but my opinion is this year, if you not voting means one less vote for Trump, then fine. I would like you to vote and vote for Biden, but I'm not going to force you. And if I can't push the issue of, hey, you should vote, it's your blah, 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 your right or your duty or whatever, if that means you're going to vote for Trump. So I just let it go. And that's just it's her not voting is potentially one less vote for Biden, but if it's definitely one less vote for Trump, I'm good with that. So if people are writing in Kanye, vote for Kanye, that's one less vote for Trump, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards it. I am.
What, writing him in, vote for him?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the vice presidential debate, I was like, okay, I like Kamala. But then, like, last week, them not really doing whatever. Like, I watched part of Biden in the town hall, and I was just like, bro, what is this? His sentence was literally like, my plan is, if I remember correctly, my plan. And I'm like, what the?
Oh, my gosh. I didn't watch either one of them because I'm like, that, to me, I don't want to try to flip back and forth and like miss something that this person says and that, like, so having them at the same time on different channels, that's just, again, like we lose, the American people lose out.
Yeah.
Because
and I don't think
pro-Trump people are going to watch his town hall, and the pro-Biden people are going to watch his town hall, and the people that want to see comparison aren't going to get that unless they record one and watch the other, and then like, because like I'm just not.
I don't think that should have been allowed, but who am I? Just a 23-year-old in Tampa, Florida. I'm no one special.
Today
I do have something to say about Crocs, though. I have my trusty Croc. What was that?
It was my Raze flavor today. It's Voodoo.
Voodoo Child is like one of my top new favorite songs, especially the Stevie Ray Vaughan version.
What are you saying about Crocs?
I'm starting to fall in love with Crocs.
I feel like you kind of already were when we worked together.
Well, no, I had them, but I never wore them. I wore them like 3 or 4 times before, and then they were just in my trunk for like a year. But then my flip-flops got like all messed up, so I put these bad boys on, and I didn't realize until yesterday that they actually, like, because my feet have been hurting really bad because I've been on my feet for like 7, 8, 9 hours daily at my other job. And I'm just like, but I put these bad boys on and it was like, ooh. So I'm like, I wonder if they have work Crocs. And my buddy told me they do, so I might have to invest in some work Crocs if I stay in the fast food industry. Which I probably will part-time. But these boys are so comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are you going to try to do both?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how long it's going to last. Right now, I'm not on the schedule at the other job at the fast food place, but eventually, I'm not a bridge burner.
I think I'm going to try to hold on to Domino. I would like to hold on to it like indefinitely, because it's kind of fun. It has the shitty nights because I mean it's fast food.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the last 2 nights I had my behind served to me on a gold platter.
So but I like, especially right now, even if the freelance thing kind of takes off, I'll hold on to it because it'll be easier because I can work, the day after I work at Domino's, I can start whenever I want. So I can sleep in and start around 9 instead of having to start at 7 like I was.
Yeah, that's what happened this morning. Last night, I literally didn't get home till almost 1 o'clock. And I'm like, I woke up because I set my alarm for 7:05. I woke up and I was like, no, I'm not getting
Yeah, I figured it was either you wanted to get some more sleep or that maybe, the other scheduling had at the last minute popped up. So I figured it was one or the other. Yeah. That's why I asked.
I honestly, I like doing our in-persons, but ever since we started doing the Zoom calls, it's so much more convenient because then we can just, I don't have to, drive back to my house. And because every single time that I come back, for some reason, I'm like, I need to go to church. And so then I go to church, and then I don't get home.
The good Lord is speaking to you.
I guess. Well, see, the church that I go to, they have a hologram pastor half the time. So when if I go to church and I get a hologram pastor, I could have just watched that on my TV. But I'm not the type of person to walk in and be like, nope, and walk out,
Yeah.
So then I got to sit there for an hour watching something I could have watched on my phone or the TV or anything like that. Because they stream it. They stream the service on their website.
I was thinking about that the other day too, as far as in person versus Zoom. To me, it's as far as the podcast goes, I mean, even the videos, either way, it's not a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pluses and minuses to both. And we can, that's one of those things that we can just play by ear.
Yeah.
Each week. And I mean, kind of the way it worked out for me too is honestly, I was glad when you sent that text because I was like, because my whole eye thing and everything else, I'm like, okay, good. Because kind of still feeling it looks worse than it is, but it's still kind of, it's a nuisance really at this point. But we should. Yeah.
I thought you got beat up. I was like, when you're like, there's been a lot of changes. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Did someone punch you in the face? I've never had a black eye. I mean, your eye's not black. It's just swollen, I guess. Yeah. I've never had a black eye before. I remember one time my grandma's dog bit me in my eye, though. And I had a thing right here I don't know if you can still see it. Right there. There's a teeny tiny scar. Let me take the best one.
I don't know.
Right here.
Yeah, you can see it. That should totally be our thumbnail. By the way.
No, I need my eyeball.
Actually, here, let me change this real quick because that's the one thing with Zoom. And I like the speaker view when it's just the person speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes for a hard thumbnail because there's only one person on the thumbnail at a given time. So.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna. Someone had mentioned that they liked seeing like both of us, like while the other person's talking, and I thought I was gonna tell you, but I just completely forgot until you said that. I thought that they would like it better if it was just the person talking, you know, because it's easier to focus. But they're like, no, we want to see what the other person is doing while that person's talking. So like, if you're talking and I'm like.
I can get that, but I agree with that, but at the same time I also like knowing that as long as I'm quiet, you know, you're not,
yeah,
you can focus on somebody, especially if they're making a good point or something, and
but one thing I noticed
I'm just sitting there drinking my water or whatever. It's like,
yeah. Well, one thing I noticed in Jeremy's episode though is that if you were talking for like a long time, it would just go to him automatically. And I'm like, I'm glad he's not picking his nose or something. Because that would be me. If it was just you talking and then it switched to me, I'd be like,
I noticed that too. I didn't know if it was like maybe he was making a sound or like hitting his desk or something, and then it was flipping to him or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I like Jeremy. He has a very awesome energy.
He does. Yeah, I've known that guy.
I wasn't expecting him to be so I don't know the word. I guess energy is the, and when I say awesome, I mean like infectious. Like he makes you want to be like a happy, positive person too, you know?
Yeah, he's always been like that. Like that's generally him. Like he was no different. That's just him being himself. He was no different on our chat than he's ever been the entire time I've known him, and I've known him almost basically my entire life, on and off. Because
he's very nice.
We grew up in the same town, but my family moved a lot because my dad was in the seafood business and he had different jobs, but somewhere along the coast pretty much all the time. And for a while, we moved almost every 2 or 3 years, and people thought like my dad was in the military. It's like, no, in the seafood business actually. But we always ended up in that same small town. You know, for some reason or another, we'd always end up back there every like 3 or 4 years. So, you know, I remember Jeremy like vaguely in the elementary school for as much as you can kind of remember that age.
Yeah.
There's definitely class pictures and stuff of us in the same class. And then, you know, at one point we went back there in middle school, and that's when we stayed there through, you know, through high school and for even my first couple of years of community college. I still lived there, and like really when we went back there in middle school, me and Jeremy remembered each other vaguely, and we just, that is really when friendship just kind of stuck, and I've just known him ever since then. So you can kind of say we've known each other since we were like little, but really, I mean, it really kind of, I guess, mattered or whatever you want to say, in middle school, and we just stayed friends all the way through. And that's always, even in middle school and stuff, for as long as I can remember, that's his personality. He's very naturally laid back, positive person.
Nice.
The type of person
nice.
You definitely want to keep around, and helps you maintain your positivity.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I was able to quote unquote meet him. I don't know why suddenly I just thought of, have you ever had like saltine crackers with peanut butter on them?
Yes.
I just thought of that. It sounds really good. I kind of want that now. Just a nice little snack.
I can't remember what else I was going to say. I felt like I had a lot to say. But I guess that's all the changes that's been going on.
Yeah, no.
What's new with you?
I'm going back. I'm getting my own desk again. So happy about that. I'm trying to figure out how I want to decorate it. That's like really like, I have this drawing that my friend did, so I'm thinking of putting that on my desk. Just, I'm just really excited. I was thinking, I'm like, I'm going to be able to have Hawaiian Shirt Friday again. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a nerd. Like, I actually really, really miss, like, that whole thing.
You know what I was thinking is, are you going to be on the service side or back on the sales side?
Sales.
But now that I'm freelancing, I'm flexible. So maybe one day I can make the trip over there and we can have lunch and I can see everybody.
Ooh, yeah.
So if you have a potluck or something like that, I can do that.
Yeah.
I just never make it that way. That's just like, unless I was working there, that's a long drive. It's even longer.
Yeah, and you have no reason to be over here.
But if you're going back there, then that solidifies a visit every now and then to see everybody.
There's a lot of not a lot, but there's some new people. The way that the schedule is now is that like half of the people work one day, half the people work the other day. Monday is the only day that everyone works at some point, I think. But I'm just excited and I'm really grateful because, you don't have to let someone come back.
No, Karen's always been that type of. You have to really, really burn that bridge.
Yeah.
For her not to give you a job.
Yeah, so I'm excited. New opportunities. I want to go to Vegas next year. I've never been. I'm just trying to,
Vegas is a lot of fun.
I was thinking, like, because normally, like, I go out to the club or to a bar or something, like, at least once a month. And I haven't been since January because of all this. So I was like, I tweeted, I don't know if you saw it, but I was like, when January comes, I'm going, New Year's Eve? I'm going all out. Like last year, New Year's Eve was crazy. Like we went to the casino. I forgot my wallet. So I had to get a lift back to my house to see if my wallet was there because I didn't know if I left it in the lift that we took there or if it was in my car. It was in my car. I get home and I just like downed an entire like of the little bottles of Jack. So by the time I got back to the casino, I was just like, I walk in and they just let me through. The whole reason I went back is because I didn't have my ID, so I didn't think they were going to let me in. They just let me through and I'm like, you don't want to see my ID? And they're like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 22. Oh, no, we don't need to see it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
I went all the way back home to get this, and you didn't even need it. So then, I mean, when you're drunk, you have to go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom. I was on the phone, and I was in the bathroom for like an hour. Apparently, at some point, my glasses fell off. And someone was pounding on the door like, hey, are these your glasses? And I thought they're like, oh, this girl's drunk. She needs to get out of here. So I was like, no. And I just lost my glasses. So then I had to pay like $180 for new glasses. Like my old lady, like they were literally like the most basic glasses you could ever see. Because I couldn't get these until, I think I got these in August. But yeah, it was crazy. So I don't plan on getting that crazy, but I do plan on having fun on New Year's Eve.
Are you talking about, is that connected to Vegas? Are you going to go to Vegas for New Year's Eve? Or are you just saying that was a separate?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to just because of like my work schedule, but I do plan on, I want to go like within the first 3 months. And also my grandma, my dad's mom, her 70th birthday is in January, so I'm going to have to go up to Ohio.
I love Vegas. Vegas is so fun. And I've been there different times in different situations. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it sounds kind of bad, but it's completely understandable. It's like the worst time that we went there was as we went there in 2000. When was it? 18 maybe, I think. All four of us went. Me, my wife, and the kids. It was kind of like it was like a family thing that they were having over there for my wife. So that's why we want to take the kids. But when we weren't doing that, we were there for like 4 days. And then when we weren't doing that, we went out to try to do stuff. It's like, even going to like the family friendly parts of Vegas are not family friendly. There's nothing family friendly about Vegas.
I can't. When people bring their kids to Vegas, I'm like, what?
Like there's a part where it's like kind of downtown. Not, I don't know if it's downtown or whatever, but it's like all open and there's different clubs and different stuff going on, and people are walking around in this big, huge open area. And that's where it's like, oh, you can take your kids or whatever. People are still walking around like, it's just not, there's nothing family friendly about Vegas. And I was like, I told my wife, I was like, we need to come back without the kids. Like, not like, because that was my wife's first time, and she's like, she had fun, but like, we couldn't gamble. Like,
yeah, I think my ultimate Vegas trip, like, who I really want to come is my mom, my aunt, and my sister, because my sister just turned 21. So I feel like it would be super cool. And then, I mean, like, we could bring our friends or whatever, but that's like, it's like the generations colliding. Even if we wait, because my cousin is 17. So even if we wait until like she's of age, that's 4 years. I don't want to wait 4 years. But just like have a girls trip, and I feel like it would be so fun. I've always wanted to go my whole life because my mom and my aunt used to go when I was younger. And I'm just like, it sounds so much fun, That's
what I told my son, because he's like, when I said that, we'll come back next time and, leave the kids at home. And my son, at the time, I think he was like maybe 11, or maybe even 10. I don't remember. But he's like, I want to come back. That's not fair, or something like that. I was like, trust me. I was like, we'll come back when you're 21 for whatever reason. Maybe when you graduate college or something to celebrate, we'll come back and totally have like a guys weekend or something. Mm-hmm. It'll be a lot more fun to you then than it would be if you come back underage.
I don't even want to go to gamble. Like, I guess I'll try it. I've still never, like, even when I've been to the casino, I've never gambled or anything there.
That's even better, actually, if you, like, I would definitely say try it, but just have that. The best thing about Vegas, I would say to do is have a budget of, the amount of money you're planning on spending while you're there. And of that, it could be as small as like $20 or something, or whatever you decide, but have a little portion of that budget to gamble with. And then especially if you're not, that's even better if you're not a big gambler, because then if you win, you're like, great, I doubled my money or whatever. And I do that. If I win my money back or double it or whatever, I'm done. To me, that's a win. Mm-hmm. I didn't lose the money. Or if I spend it all and I lost it, I only lost $20. And then I move on with my trip and do other stuff. I'm more about like the shows and the clubs and the different stuff you can do while you're there versus the gambling.
Oh, I definitely want to go to the Sugar Factory in Las Vegas too. I feel like they have other restaurants though that are more like you can only get them in Vegas. But the Sugar Factory is so good.
Like last time I was there, it's so packed. So packed. So I wonder how different it is now with the virus.
Yeah. And Vegas is known for their buffets too. So if I go to Vegas and I don't get a buffet, That's
the best part of waking up hungover. Going downstairs for that buffet.
Yeah. So that's definitely on my list of places that I want to go next year. I also really want to get to Colorado. My friend Marie lives in Colorado. She's lived there for like 5-6 years, and I still haven't been. So I told Karen, like, my main goal is just to make money so I can start traveling, because I've always wanted to travel. I just have been a broke beach.
Yeah.
So that's that. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready.
So when do you start?
Tomorrow.
Huh?
Start tomorrow.
I start my new gig tomorrow too.
Hey, new gig squad.
It's been kind of funny though, because me and my wife, like, she'll just, the other day we were laughing about it because she was like, we just stopped what we're doing. And she's like, God, your eye just it looks better, but it still looks so bad. And I was like, yeah, I know it's a nuisance at this point. It doesn't really hurt, but just where it's still kind of swollen, it's irritating, and I can feel it when I like move my eyeball and stuff. But I was like, man, overall it's been a good week actually in a lot of different ways. Like if you kind of see the silver lining and a positive type view on it, it was a good week. But it's a really easy to look at it too, as far as like, man, it's been a shitty week between like my eye and then just not really having it's not like I don't have a job, but like, and I don't even want to say not having a real job, because freelancing is still a real job, but it's just like, it is kind of scary, especially for my wife. She's kind of freaking out because she's just always been that type of person. It's like, you get a job, you have a steady paycheck, and that's that. It's like, she sees the benefits of trying this, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, but I feel like you're not the kind of person to let your things go bad, like your responsibilities, like
no, I always have. And even when it was kind of looking like, something was gonna happen, I thought it would be by the end of the year, but then I realized that because it was a contract with the company and the VA, and their contract actually started in October, so it was the contract year, not, I thought it was like the regular year. So, and that kind of explains that. But I'm always the type of person that if I start like, I follow my gut or whatever, if something feels like, if I start feeling like I need to have a backup plan, I start forming a backup plan.
Yeah.
Because there's one point in my life where I got blindsided, and I, went months before I had to, trying to figure it out what I was going to do. And I'll never let that happen again, especially having a wife and kids. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I always have an escape route now. Something to fall back on if shit hits the fan. Because you just never know. And
yeah. Well, the upside is I'm gonna have more time in the afternoon now, because I've been working nights for like all last week. Last week was like, I thought I was gonna die. Long shifts, because she was trying to give me my hours, and I had to have today off for the podcast. I always have Sundays off. I don't know if at the new job that's going to be the case, but I mean, we already talked about that.
Yeah.
And then I had to have off Monday, Tuesday, and next week. So she was just trying to give me as many hours as she could before I started. And I'm definitely grateful for that. But
are you going to have the same weekday off every week, or does that fluctuate now too?
Yeah, no. There's no set day off.
Okay.
Once I know which team I'm on, because there's 2 teams, I'll know like ahead of time which week it is. Because it just depends on if you're off on the weekend or not, what day you're off during the week. So, and I mean, even if we have to start filming ahead of time and drop on Sunday, we can do that too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like I'm be more flexible, and then we could always film on a Friday afternoon or something like that, and then or whatever day you happen to be off that week, and then drop it on Sunday. And then the only time other than that we'd have to make certain arrangements is when we have guests.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, that was one of the questions they asked me when they hired me, like, your podcast, is it going to be okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's doable. I mean, we both expect that we have jobs, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me know on the, I'll remind you too when it gets closer to we have guests that we're trying to solidify scheduling for the 8th, which is a Sunday, and the 15th, which is the following Sunday for November. Mm-hmm. But that was all while we were still doing the Sunday thing. So I'm pretty sure we can rearrange those schedules if we have to, but wait, do that again. The thumbnail. Yeah, we could always arrange it anyway. I would just need to get with the guests to make sure, you know, it'd probably be, at least for the band in Orlando, I know Thursday or Friday would be better than Sunday for them anyway.
Okay, that works then.
So
those are probably going to be the days that I have off.
So,
if anything, though, I have an hour lunch, so.
That's true.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried either, because that is one thing that I like about that. I mean, that is not just the podcast. It's just like everything, especially with next year, Melody's going back to school or going to school, starting school, and that's just VBK and stuff. But that was starting to become like almost a concern for me and my wife, because they get off at like VBK in kindergarten. You can get off at like noon. They don't go for.
Oh yeah, they have half days. When I was in kindergarten, we had full days.
So that's why when we know all this happened last week, and I was telling my wife, it's like, well, I'll try the freelance thing and hopefully it works out, because then if it does, I can always stop what I'm doing and go pick Melody up. You know, I'd be more flexible. Or if something comes up and with Drew at school or doctor's appointments, whatever, I can stop what I'm doing, go take care of it, and come back to work. I don't have a boss that said, oh, can I, you know, take a half a day, or can I do this? It's like, well, hopefully it works out for multiple reasons. And one of those would be the podcast, because that's kind of one less, still working around the schedule, but my schedules would be a lot more flexible. So we'll see. But it's exciting. It's exciting to see how everything's going to play out. Everything is meant to happen the way it happens. So
yeah. Well, what do you think? Is this the end?
Yeah, I guess so. We didn't start off dancing this time either. We were requesting.
I know. Alex, one day we'll dance for you.
We can end with a dance. If
I'll do a chair dance. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, we can end it with a dance. The only thing that Zoom doesn't tell you how long you've been recording, does it? It just says recording.
I don't know what time it is. 10:05.
Yeah, we started about 9:15, so it's been about 45 minutes.
Radio.
Can you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear the?
Mm-mm. I'll just dance.
Hang on. I can fix that. I don't know if that'll work. What are you doing?
I'm doing an interpretive.
Dancing, nothing. Yeah, that's new computer, so that's weird that it would work out before you could hear it, but now it.
Well, that's okay. I did my dancing for today.
Dun 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 dun.
Peace.
Alrighty, let me stop recording. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.